this session, we are going to have a talk on intellectual property rights by engineer Amardev Singh. He is working as assistant professor in our institute in the Department of Entrepreneurship Development and Industrial Coordination. He is basically an electronics engineer. He has done his MBA in IT networking from Harvard University. He has around 8 years of experience in teaching and research. He has previously worked in Mahatma Gandhi State Institute of Public Administration of Punjab also, and he is very active in doing the social work. So I request him to kindly highlight the major aspects related to intellectual property rights, like patent as well as copyright, etc.
Thank you very much. Okay, very good afternoon all. First of all, on behalf of NITRPT Chandigarh, I welcome participants at all the nodal centers to this session on intellectual property right that is being held on the afternoon of, I feel so, if I'm not wrong, 28th April 2016. So I would just like to, before we proceed, I would like to know whether the centers are with us or not. First of all, I come to Government Polytechnic Hisar. Are you with us? GP Hisar, are you with us? Are you getting my voice? Government Polytechnic Hisar. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Okay, then we come to Government Polytechnic Kala Dungi, Uttarakhand. They are not with us. Okay, then we come to Rajasthan Institute of Engineering and Technology, Sitapur. Okay, you are getting my voice? Okay, I would, मैं चाहूँगा कि मैंने ना interact भी करा, तो हो पाएगा जो तो questions कुछ लगे two way. Which is the most active center? Okay, I wish कि two way होवे ना, फिर मजा बनना. Okay, then I come to Dronacharya, and another is, you say, or which one? CV Raman. Okay, then we come to Rajasthan Institute. They are with us. Now we come to JECRC University, Sitapur, Jaipur. JECRC University. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I feel so we will be interacting in a dual mode, two-way mode. Right? Then I come to duplex mode, I would say. Okay, Engineering College, JCDM Sirsa. Engineering College. Okay, then we come to Madhav University, Sirohi. Okay, then we come to Dronacharya Group of Institutions. Are you with us, Dronacharya Group of Institutions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. You are with us?
Yes, sir.
And I would like to ask one thing more. Have you attended intellectual property session earlier also? IPR session earlier also?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. I wish to know the profile also. Okay. I just had a direction from the course coordinator, Poonam Syal ma'am, that all the centers are requested to request the participants at their nodal center to be present, so that in all the sessions regularly, so that if some exception is there, some urgent work is there, he may be she may be going, but not all. In this, we are seeing that very few participants are attending the course. So we request that they should be in time. And all should be present, as per ma'am, and me also. That's it. Now we come to Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. Okay, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. Okay, I feel so in my session most active participants would be Dronacharya, JECRC and GP Hisar, as I have seen some people over there, and Rajasthan Institute of Engineering Technology, Sitapur also. Okay, now we start with our theme, that is intellectual property rights. First, the main thrust of this session is to create awareness about intellectual property, legal rights associated with intellectual property, and allied aspects. So Before we start with the session, I would like to request the participant at any of the nodal center to make out what intellectual property is. Ma'am? Pen. Yes. Okay. Any participant? Any participant from GP Hisar who would like to share what intellectual property is? GP Hisar, Government Polytechnic Hisar. What intellectual property is? Okay, now JECRC University. Any idea what intellectual property is? What do you think about intellectual property? We are not getting your voice, ma'am. Can somebody turn on the? Sure. Now we are getting.
It is a matter of like intellectual property. Is the intangible property that deals with intellectual rights of ones.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Dronacharya Group of Institutions. Can you share with us what is your understanding of intellectual property?
Having a sole authority and ownership of a product that you have developed.
Okay, product. Okay, is one aspect we got it. Okay, anybody else from that center? Okay, thank you. When we say coming to the formal definition, intellectual property. When we say it is a combination of two words, intellectual property or intellectual property rights term is a combination of certain words. First word is the intellect. It refers to the power of the mind. And second word is the property. It refers generally to something that can be traded, that is bought or sold, that is which has a commercial value. So when we combine these two terms, two words, it becomes intellectual property, which refers to the ideas and creations of the mind having commercial value. So whenever we say a person is intellectual, we mean by it that he is creative, he does things in a new way, or he brings new things into the domain of his or her work, or his or her institution's works. So he will be termed as a creative person, but it will not qualify to be a intellectual property unless that creativity has a commercial value, that should have a potential to be traded in the market for exchange, maybe exchange of money, or maybe for exchange of other products and services from other institution, or maybe a country. So anything anything clears to be a part of intellectual property only and only if it has a commercial value. So it refers to the ideas and creation of the mind having commercial value. When we add the term rights to it, it becomes the intellectual property rights. It refers to the legal rights associated with intellectual property. Can anybody from any of the centers share why do we need rights? Apart from in general sense also, apart from intellectual property rights, why do we need rights? Any participant from any nodal center? What are rights and why do we need rights? First of all, I would like to know, have we been granted by any rights? I feel so. By Constitution of India, our country, we have been entrusted with certain rights and duties. Why do we need rights and why they have been provisioned for us? Any center? GP Hisar?
Sir, to provide equal opportunity and to secure the life, or you can say to secure the.
That's it. That's it. Equal opportunity.
Equal opportunities.
That's it. Okay. Any other center? Dronacharya College. Would you like to elaborate upon why do we need rights? Dronacharya group of colleges, group of institutions. Then JECRC University. JECRC University. Why do we need rights? Okay. Let us start with the situation. Rights हमें इसलिए दिए जाते हैं so that each one of us knows our हमारे हक क्या हैं and what are our duties, हमारी responsibilities क्या हैं towards the society, towards the institution, or towards as a citizen of the as a member of the family. So rights इसीलिए हमें दिए जाते हैं ताकि हमें हर पर्सन को अपना अपना दायरा क्लियर हो कि उसके क्या क्या हक हैं, and so that if I am a citizen of India and you are also a citizen of India, so I should not do a act which जो कि आपके राइट को एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहा है, आपके दायरे पर्सनल जो राइट टू एजुकेशन की बात करें, राइट टू प्राइवेसी की बात करें, राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन की बात करें, तो अगर मैं उस दायरे से बाहर जाऊंगा तो दो राइट्स हैं कि जो कि आप मेरे को बता सकते हैं कि वो आपके हक हैं. इट मींस कि राइट्स की हमें इसलिए जरूरत है कि हम कन्फ्लिक्ट्स जो है कम से कम हो, कि हमें एक व्हेनेवर देयर इज अ से there is a condition of a fight or a abnormal condition in a state or a society, then there are two things to it. One is your preventive measure, one is your precautionary measures, corrective measures. Corrective measures are the measures that are taken after the thing has happened to correct that aftermath of that. For example, there may be some disaster in some area, so we take the corrective measures. But the preventive measures are the measures taken before the occurrence of the event, so that the likely occurrence of that event is reduced, or in case it occurs, how we can minimize its impact. So when we say rights, it is a system by the government or by any state or by any society, so that it is a kind of preventive measure, so that हम एक दूसरे के हकों को जाने, पहचाने और एक दूसरे के दायरे में कम से कम हम उसमें infringement करें. So why I have referred to this definition of rights over here, because it is completely valid in context of intellectual property rights. Let us consider let us start this theme of intellectual property rights with a typical classroom situation that I have faced several times in my life while I was teaching at DAV Institute of Engineering Technology Jalandhar or NIT Jalandhar, or say some other GNDU regional campus as a part-time lecturer. So I faced several times these kind of situations, and I am pretty much sure that you too, as teachers, as students, have passed through those situations in your past life. So let us consider an example where a teacher gives an assignment on a topic to 10 students in a group. Say there are 50 students in a class, 10 students each, you have made 5 groups, and to each group you have given a particular theme to work upon. Now suppose that generally happens most of the times, all the students in a group comes with the same set of work on the same theme. उन्होंने सभी ने एक जैसा असाइनमेंट सबमिट किया टीचर को, और see I am the teacher, और सभी का एक दूसरे से कॉपीड है. तो व्हाट हैपेंस, अगर तो मैं उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लेता हूँ एज अ टीचर, आई असाइन द मार्क्स मे बी इक्वली or maybe based on their impression. So what will happen? There will be no conflict. Everything is goody-goody. Students are fine. Teacher is good. His performance progress or feedback forms are good. Everything is okay. But the moment, if suppose I say I will assign 0 marks to all the students in a group whose work is similar. कि अगर मैं कहता हूं कि जिनका की काम सिमिलर है, मैं उनको 0 मार्क्स दूंगा. What happens? What will happen in this case? क्या होगा? Anybody, any teacher who would like to share his experiences? What happens if you must have faced such a condition where students submit to you a similar assignment and you accept it? There is no problem. But the moment you didn't accept it, you turn down it. What happens? Can anybody share? What happens in a classroom situation? Any participant from GP Hisar? Okay. Whenever we say, ma'am, we have to call that Deepika so that she can sit down. Okay. Let us, whenever such kind of situation happens in a classroom, generally what happens, based on my experiences, first the students will come to you in groups, 2 or 3 persons in a group. They will say, sir, sir आप इसको एक्सेप्ट कर लो, बाकी टीचर्स भी उन्होंने भी एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है, यू असाइन अस द मार्क्स, हम आपके पास एक बार ही आए हैं, एक सब्जेक्ट के लिए आए हैं, और मे बी हमें आगे से फ्यूचर में हमने कौन सा आपके पास लॉन्ग टर्म पे रहना है. दे विल ट्राई टू कन्विंस द टीचर, बट इवन स्टिल if the teacher is not convinced, I as a teacher say no, I am going to assign you 0 marks, then what will happen? Anybody from GP Hisar who would like to share? GP from GP Hisar. Okay, they have the autonomy. Okay, thank you. From Dronacharya College, what will happen in that case? Suppose you turn down the assignment, you are adamant that I will assign 0 marks if your assignment will be similar. What the students do normally? Any teacher from over there? I wish to have interaction from your side, otherwise it is the evening session, I will also be feeling sleepy. So in my sessions I love to interact, and I hope you would interact. Okay, we come to JECRC. JECRC, University Jaipur. That's it. Okay, if you do not accept, ma'am, you do not accept the assignments of the student, you are adamant that if it is similar, I will assign you 0 marks.
If assignments are similar, then I will say it, then submit again, because your assignment is similar, your assignment is copied.
That's it. Then what will be their reaction? First is, I have explained that they are not ready. They will come to you in groups. They will say, ma'am, accept it. Other teachers have accepted it. Give us the marks.
Actually, sir, we will tell them that what is actually plagiarism. This is all about the copy.
That's it. Perfect. Second thing they will do, what normally they do, they will start coming to the teacher individually. Individually they will come to the teacher. They will say, ma'am, sir, ये assignment तो मैंने बनाया था, बाकी लोगों ने कॉपी कर लिया, उसने सुबह कॉपी कर लिया, उसने शाम को कॉपी कर लिया. They will try to convince you. अब उसमें divide and rule policy आ जाएगा. But still you are adamant. The teacher is adamant. He or she says, I am going to fail you in the internal marks, and based on that you have to appear for re-examination in your next semester for the internal for the particular subject. Then what will happen? अब थोड़ा सा conflict आना शुरू होगा. जो तो एक टॉपर होगा, इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्सन होगा, उसमें जो टॉपर होगा, ही विल, जो कि जिंदगी में कभी फेल ही नहीं हुआ, जिसने कभी 80% से कम मार्क्स ही नहीं लिए, वो टीचर से ऑफेंड हो जाएगा. ये टीचर ऐसा कैसा कर सकता है. वो फटाफट हायर अथॉरिटीज के पास जाएगा और कहेगा कि अमरदेव सर इज नॉट टीचिंग गुड इन द क्लास, इज डूइंग दिस एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. अनदर पर्सन हु इज लोअर ऑन द बेंच, उसको कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, टीचर जो मर्जी करे, उसको वो अपने पॉकेट मनी से पैसा निकालेगा, रीपेयर का फॉर्म भरेगा और दोबारा पेयर हो जाएगा. देयर मे बी अ थर्ड ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, जो कि मैक्सिमम 60 to 70% आर स्टूडेंट इन दैट ग्रुप, दैट इज जो मिडिल लेवल है, कि जो वो देखते हैं कि ये हायर वाले क्या कर रहे हैं या लोअर वाले भी क्या कर रहे हैं. वो इस सिस्टम से डीमोटिवेट होते जाते हैं, एंड आउट ऑफ डीमोटिवेशन दे गेट डिसइंटरेस्टेड इनटू द सब्जेक्ट एंड द क्लास एंड द टीचर आल्सो. सो यहां तक भी सिचुएशन ठीक है कि अगर आप टीचर मे बी स्टूडेंट मान जाते हैं, उसको असाइनमेंट को नया सबमिट कर देते हैं, आई असाइन द मार्क्स, इट इज एग्रीएबल. बट इवन देन, अब लेट अस कंसीडर अनदर केस. स्टूडेंट्स ने इंडिविजुअली, ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट वाज वेरी मच हार्ड वर्किंग, उन्होंने असाइनमेंट्स इंडिविजुअली करके आपको सबमिट किया, आपने उनको मार्क्स दे दिए. अब व्हाट हैपेंस, अब अनदर रोल लेते हैं, टीचर का रोल लेते हैं. टीचर क्या कर सकता है? मे बी स्टूडेंट एक आफ्टर 6 months ही गोज टू द मार्केट टू बाय अ प्रोडक्ट, एंड वो देखता है कि ये प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस जो भी मार्केट में ऑफर हो रही है, वो उसके आइडिया से है, कि वो उसने अमरदेव सर को आज से 6 महीने पहले एक प्रोजेक्ट सबमिट किया था, और उस प्रोजेक्ट में उसने उसको अमरदेव सर को प्रेजेंट किया था. अब वो फटाफट मार्केट में सप्लायर से पूछता है, शॉपकीपर से पूछता है, आपको कहाँ से मिला है? उसने बताया ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हमें देता है. वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के पास जाता है कि आपको ये प्रोडक्ट कहाँ से बन के आता है. वो बताता है ये कंपनी बना रही है. वो फिर भी इंक्विजिटिव है जानने के लिए कि ये तो मेरा आइडिया था, ये मार्केट में कैसे आया. वो कंपनी के पास पहुंच जाता है और कंपनी से इंक्वायर करता है कि ये आइडिया आपके पास कैसे आया, ये प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस कहाँ से आपने बनाया, डिजाइन किया. तो वो कंपनी वाला अगर बताता है कि ये तो अमरदेव सिंह NITTR के प्रोफेसर हैं, ये उनका आइडिया है, उनका पेटेंट या कॉपीराइट है या ट्रेडमार्क है, हमने उनसे लाइसेंसिंग के अंदर हमने राइट्स लिए हुए हैं एंड वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग इट एंड सेलिंग इट, then what will happen? In this case there will be a two kind of situation. एक वो पर्सन मे बी एक ऐसा पर्सन है उस चीज को सुन के इग्नोर करेगा, he may make a impression that all the system is such, all the education system is such, हमारे टीचर्स ही ऐसे हैं, आइडिया मेरा था, अमरदेव सर ने प्रोटेक्ट कर लिया. और anotherly in another situation he may come to the me and he may fight verbally with me. He may say that sir, this is not fine, this was the idea from my project, I submitted to you in my project on this and this date or in this month, and how can you do this to me? He may be offended. अमरदेव क्या कर रहा है, उसको आगे से दिखाता है कि ठीक है तूने असाइनमेंट सबमिट किया था, बट आई हैव अ पेटेंट फॉर इट, बिकॉज दीज आर राइट्स आर द फर्स्ट टू फाइल राइट्स. जो सबसे पहले फाइल करता है उसको प्रोटेक्शन मिलती है. सो वो क्या होगा, अगेन ही मे गेट डिमोटिवेटेड, या तो डिमोटिवेट होकर वापस चला जाएगा, और ही मे हैव अ ग्रज इन हिज माइंड, उसके मन में गुस्सा होगा और गुस्से को देखेगा कि अमरदेव सर कोई नहीं, 5:30 निकलते हैं ऑफिस से, 6 बजे निकलते हैं, 8 बजे निकलते हैं, 10 बजे निकलते हैं, इस टाइम पे निकलते हैं, ये बाइक पे जाते हैं, गाड़ी पे जाते हैं, कोई नहीं इसको रोड पे देख लेंगे. सो इट मे टर्न इनटू अ अगली कंडीशन आल्सो. एक आपकी फिजिकल फाइट से लेके, मेंटल फाइट से लेके, नॉर्मल वर्बल फाइट से लेके वो एक फिजिकल क्राइम तक वो चीज आपकी जा सकती है. एंड दिस विल बी अ बैड सिचुएशन in the society or in the organization or in the family life or in the personal life of a student or a teacher or a organization, any organization or owner of any organization. So to avoid such kind of conflicts, we have rights, and these rights are relevant to intellectual property. So that's why we have intellectual property rights in place. So here the first need for IP and IPRs is set, that is to provide recognition and reward for the original effort. It is not only recognition कि some teacher or some student invented it, कि उसको आपने पेटेंट में उनका नाम डाल दिया, इन्वेंटर में नाम डाल दिया, तो इट मीन्स जहाँ आपने एक लेटर हेड पे उसको सर्टिफिकेट इशू कर दिया कि he has done a great work, that is there, it is, ये तो मोरल है, मोरली है कि ये तो चाहिए. But reward means that inventor, he may be a teacher or a student, he should get the financial benefits also out of it. If the organization or a individual firm puts that product or service into market, तो उसका जो जहाँ इंडिविजुअल ट्रेड करता है इसको, तो उसका भी जो मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट है वो भी ओरिजिनल इन्वेंटर को जाना चाहिए. सो फर्स्ट objective of need for of IP and IPRs is to provide recognition and reward for the original effort, and second is to provide for protection of original effort and preventing its misuse through legal mechanism. तो हमें इसकी मिसयूज को भी रोकना है. फॉर एग्जांपल कि एक जब इन्वेंटर है तो उसकी पेटेंट एप्लीकेशन इस वे में ड्राफ्ट होनी चाहिए कि जिसमें कि मैक्सिमम एरियाज या मैक्सिमम प्रोटेक्शन उसको मिले. तो जब हम बात करते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल हम एक टिपिकल एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल लेते हैं, टू डिजाइन एक्सप्लोजिव्स. अगर एक्सप्लोजिव्स या उस तरीके के एक्सपेरिमेंट्स कंडक्ट करना, उसकी नॉलेज एक नॉर्मल एक साइंटिस्ट को भी हो सकती है. दैट साइंटिस्ट मे बी अ एम्प्लॉय ऑफ DRDO, और ही मे बी वर्किंग विद इंडियन आर्मी इन अ रिसर्च विंग, और he may that knowledge will may be available with a researcher in a university also. It may be available with a employee working in border roads organization, or it may be available with a person who may be using it for killing the people or for committing the crimes in the society. Just we have terrorism attacks and those kind of situation. So this is the extreme example. So the domain of IP and IPRs is also to legally prevent the misuse of your inventions, so that it is not used in a wrong situation, to create an environment towards that. Still, it is normally not feasible to control all the things, but still it fosters foresee to cover those kind of things. So when we talk of property, so we have associated the term property with intellectual property. there may be two types of property. Now, at this point, we may classify it into physical or conventional property, or second is intellectual property. So when we say there are essential features that characterizes a property, so first we will discuss the points where intellectual property and conventional or physical property are similar to each other. First one is monetary or commercial value. As we have discussed, intellectual a thing or creative idea will classify to be a property only and only if it has a monetary or commercial value. So whether it is an intellectual property, it has a monetary or commercial value. Whether it is a physical property like your land, piece of land, like your vehicle, it has a your commercial value. Then documentation. Documentation, if we have to go for registration of a vehicle, of our car, or of our Activa or our motorcycle, it is that it is mandatory that we have to file certain documentation with the government. Or in case of land, we have to go to the we have to go get the registration deed of the land done. In the same case, for getting a patent, copyright, or trademark, or geographical indications, we have certain departments where we have to fill up certain application forms and submit those application forms. Then there is next point is government issuing agency that is legally authorized. In case of say if I have to purchase a car, there is a government DTO, district transport authority or officer, that certifies me in case of issuing me a driving license. If we have to get our passport, there is certain government agency involved. Somebody here may question me, sir, if we purchase a laptop or any household physical car or any other thing, how government is exercising its control? My answer would be government is exercising its control through sales tax number, TIN numbers, and other such regulatory mechanism through which it is exercising control in that case. For example, we buy a laptop from a dealer, from a shop. That shop is submitting certain tax, having TIN numbers. In case of services, service tax number. So the government is exercising a control, maybe indirectly, in those businesses also. Property description. Property description is there. For example, if I have a RC of my vehicle, so the make of the vehicle, color of the vehicle, two-wheeler have, four-wheeler have, what is the seating capacity, what is the chassis number, what is the date of manufacturing, all these kind of details may be there on it. In the same case, in case of intellectual property, if you have a patent, copyright, your description of the property is mentioned, your patent, what it covers in your application, it protects in your name. It is there. So ownership of the property. Ownership of the property is also equally important. In case of physical property, also ownership is important. In case of intellectual property, also it is important. Can anybody share why it is important? Why ownership of property in case of physical property it is important, and intellectual property it is also important? Why ownership is important? Can anybody from any center share? Why? From GP Hisar, why ownership is important? GP Hisar? Okay. JECRC? Why? Japu, why ownership is important?
To relish the fruits at the fullest extent.
Okay, why proof is important?
Yeah?
Why proof is important?
No, once if you create anything, then you think that you owe that property. That means you want to relish that property. In terms of fruit or any kind of thing, that means intangible property can be come in the form of money. It will only come after when you have the ownership of that particular thing.
That's it. Perfect. Any other center? Any other center? My call to any center to volunteer. If he or she, any participant from any other center wish to elaborate why ownership is important. Okay. Then I take the opportunity to elaborate. Ownership is important. For example, I have here a camera that may be costing around 1,30,000, and that may be maybe more than 1 lakh. Projector may be costing more than 50,000. अब मैं इसको बैग में डाल के शाम को अपने घर ले जाता हूँ. and I go to the market and I wish to, or I go to a student or another teacher of mine, colleague of mine, I wish to say, say to them, buy this camera or buy this projector or buy this laptop for, say, pay me only 20,000 rupees. So would you buy? My question to any center, to JE CRC, would you buy if I sell a camera in this room for 20,000 rupees? JECRC? I have a camera available with me. I wish to sell it for 20,000 rupees. Would you like to buy it?
No,
Why not?
because we will go for the particular specifications and the brands and all.
That's it. One thing is that it may be you may have to go for a particular specification, but another thing is that you need ownership, because for to make it tradable, it may be a case of theft. Maybe मैंने यहाँ से इस कैमरा को निकाला और मे बी इंस्टीट्यूट ने FIR लॉन्च किया हुआ है कि हमारा एक कैमरा चोरी हो चुका है इस लैब में से, और कल को आप कैमरा ऑपरेट करते हैं, आप बहुत अच्छा सा वीडियोस वगैरह बना रहे हैं पब्लिक प्लेस पे, और पुलिस आपको वहां पे कवर करती है एंड इट सेज दैट इट इज अ स्टोलन कैमरा. Means you would not, any buyer would not like to indulge into any negativity on these kind of situations. So ownership is important. I would take another example. For example, there is colleague of there is another example I would take is when I was getting my studying in my MBA degree from Thapa University, during the final year of studies over there, BTech persons used to sell off their cycles for nominal prices, say 1200 rupees, 1500 rupees. So the bhaiya, जिनके घर पे I used to stay as a on rent, उन भैया ने मेरे को कहा कि अमर, why don't you buy me a cycle? बहुत अच्छे से साइकिल्स बच्चे जो गियर्स वाले होते हैं वो बच्चे बहुत कम पैसे में बेच देते हैं थापर में, हमें पता है, तो why don't you buy me a cycle? तो मैंने एक नोटिस रेडी करके डिफरेंट हॉस्टल्स में लगा दिया, एनीबॉडी who wishes to sell his or her cycle may contact so and so at this number. So I got a call from one of the person. He was from Rajasthan only, some city of Rajasthan. He called me and he said me, bhaiya, you wish to buy a cycle? I said yes, brother, I wish to buy a cycle. We fixed the venue in wing. हम वहां पे गए, कॉमन प्लेस पे बैठे, मैंने उससे पूछा कि किस स्ट्रीम में पढ़ रहे हो, तो he shared his stream. Then after sharing his stream, he shared, I asked in which year you are. He says I'm into third year of my course. I said still you have 1 year to go. Why are you selling this bicycle? He says I am selling this bicycle भैया because इससे ये मेरे लिए लकी नहीं है. तो मैंने पूछा क्यों लकी नहीं है, ऐसा क्या हो गया, बाइसाइकिल ने तुम्हारे साथ क्या कर दिया कि ये लकी नहीं है? तो ही सेड दैट कि ये सर भैया मैंने जब साइकिल खरीदा तो ये बाइसाइकिल चोरी हो गया, तो फिर कहते 2-3 महीने तक तो मिला ही नहीं. आफ्टर 2-3 months मैंने देखा कि वन ऑफ माय सीनियर इन अनदर हॉस्टल इज ड्राइविंग माय बाइसाइकिल. आई विजिटेड, आई स्टॉप दैट भैया एंड आई सेड टू हिम, भैया भैया ये बाइसाइकिल मेरा है. फर्स्ट थिंग ही डिड इज ही स्लैप्ड मी ऑन हिज फेस, ऑन माय फेस, एंड ही सेज व्हाट इज, वेयर योर नेम इज रिटन, कहां पे लिखा कि ये तेरा साइकिल है. देन ही सेड आई कॉल्ड माय पेरेंट्स केम. My parents talked to the event manager, caretaker of the university. Then some documentary evidence was given. Then it was established that that bicycle is mine, was purchased by my family for me. So based on that, that bicycle जो है मेरे को वापस मिला. अब इस सारी नरेशन को सुन के मेरे माइंड में एक डाउट क्रिएट हो गया कि अब मैं इससे बाइसाइकिल खरीद रहा हूँ, कल को मैं भाई ब्रदर को दूंगा जिनके घर पे मैं रेंट पे रह रहा हूँ, एंड थापर का एक पिछला गेट है फ्रॉम द बैक एंट्री एंड वन इज एट द फ्रंट डोर. तो नॉर्मली पासर बाय क्या करते हैं, शॉर्टकट लेने के लिए यूनिवर्सिटी के रेयर गेट से जाके आगे से निकलते हैं. तो मेरे को लगा कि दिस सिचुएशन कैन अराइज समटाइम्स दैट the brother that my household owner may be passing through the campus and somebody may stop him and say this bicycle is of theft, give us the proof, where is the proof you bought it from the university student. So what I did in that case, I designed a deed and having with the words that I am so and so, student of so and so year, son of so and so, selling this bicycle of this color, this make, to on this date टू अमरदेव सिंह फॉर दिस मच ऑफ रुपीज, एंड उनसे एक स्टैंप लगाई और साइन करवाए, और उसको मैंने ब्रदर को, जहां पे जिनको मैंने दिया बाइसिकल, हाउस होल्ड ओनर को जहां पे मैं रेंट पे स्टे कर रहा था, उन भैया को कहा कि आपने ये स्लिप को संभाल के रखना है. बट this was a case of small bicycle purchase of maybe of 1500 rupees or 2000 rupees. But what happens if it is a case of, say, a product or service of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs? Now I move to the higher level in my example. There was a marriage of some family member, some daughter of our colleagues, one of our colleagues. So एक और colleague का बेटा है, उन्होंने मेरे को कहा कि भैया आप बाइक पे आओगे मैरिज अटेंड करने, why don't you come, I will bring my car and you come with your wife on my car. मैंने कहा no, I will come on my bike. He says no, I will bring my car. He brought his car. He went to his home to bring his car. At 5:10 he left the office. At 5:40 he called me back. He said, brother, there is a bad news. I said, what happened? He said, my car has been stolen in front of my mom. क्यों किसी ने मल्टीपल चाबियां लगाई और उसको ले गया. आई सेड कोई बात नहीं, अगर इफ इट इज ऑफ योर हक की है तो तेरे को मिल जाएगी. कहता है ब्रदर, किस्मत हर वक्त साथ नहीं देती, पहले मेरा बाइक भी चोरी हुआ था, वो मेरे को वापस मिल गया था, बट इट डजंट मीन कार विल आल्सो कम बैक. बट आफ्टर 3 or 4 months after, he was conducting some program in Punjab, some Firozpur or Moga region of Punjab. He called me back. He said, भैया I got my car back. I said कि मैंने कहा था ना, अगर तेरे हक का होगा तो तेरे को वापस मिल जाएगा. He said, हाँ भैया मिल तो गया, बट ऐसे नहीं मिला जैसे आप सोच रहे हो. मैंने कहा how you got it? He said कि पुलिस मेरे घर में आई और मेरे मदर को पूछा कि घर में कौन कौन है. उन्होंने बताया कि इनके फादर हैं और हमारा एक बेटा है. तो उन्होंने बताया कि बेटा आपके पास गाड़ी है? उन्होंने बताया हाँ, आपकी गाड़ी का ये नंबर था और आपका बेटा जो हिट एंड रन केस में भाग के आया है. Means how they were able to establish that he was not involved in that. उस कार के एक नंबर प्लेट जो था बाइक का था, एक नंबर प्लेट था कार का था. तो फ्रॉम दैट रजिस्ट्रेशन द पुलिस केम टू हिज होम टू इंक्वायर कि हिट एंड रन में आपका बेटा भागा है. वहां पे ओनरशिप का कंसेप्ट इंपॉर्टेंट आया. कैसे कि ओनरशिप थी और उसके बाद उसने एफआईआर लॉन्च किया था, और एफआईआर शुरू में उसको 24 आवर्स लॉन्च नहीं किया था, उसके बाद पुलिस ने लॉन्च किया था. बट दैट इज देयर कम्स द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप एंड द एफआईआर, कि एफआईआर लॉन्च किया था, देन ओनली ही वाज एबल टू एस्टैब्लिश दैट कि ये हमारी चोरी हो चुकी है, कि जिस पर्सन ने अभी क्राइम किया है, जो जिससे ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, वो कोई और पर्सन है. तो यहाँ पे मैं इस एग्जांपल को ओनरशिप के कंटेक्स्ट में लिया है. ये आगे एक और पॉइंट में काम आएगा, उसको हम आगे लेंगे. देन वी कम टू द टाइम ड्यूरेशन ऑफ ओनरशिप. व्हेन वी से फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी, हमारा अगर गाड़ी है तो उसका भी रजिस्ट्रेशन मे बी 10 ईयर 15 ईयर्स वैलिड रहता है. उसके बाद आपको उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन इनवैलिड हो जाता है. इन द सेम केस हमारा ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस है, maybe after certain duration, 10 years or for 12 years or 14 years or 20 15 years, after that duration you have to renew it. In the same case we have to renew our passport also. So in the same case these intellectual property rights are bounded by, limited by time durations. They have certain time duration associated with them. We will talk about it in the near future. Then fee. In the same case, when we have to register our vehicle, we have to register for our RC or a license. We have to pay a certain amount of fee. In the same case, in case we have to file for a patent, copyright, or any other form of intellectual property, we have to submit a certain fee associated with it, with a particular mechanism of IP, intellectual property mechanism, that we wish to get our protection. Now, there are certain parameters on which the intellectual property and conventional property are different from each other. So there are 4 parameters on which these differ from each other. First one is types. In case of intellectual property, we have 8 well-defined forms of IP. अगर मैं इस रूम में, मेरे यहाँ पे स्टूडियो में, क्लासरूम में यहाँ पे पड़ी चीजों को मैं देखूं, तो मैं इनको 8, अगर इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी आई लेंस से या अपने ग्लासेस से देखूंगा, तो मैं इसको 8 कैटेगरीज में क्लासिफाई करूंगा. मेरे पास ये प्रोजेक्टर है, प्रोजेक्टर को अगर मैं देखूंगा तो इसमें क्या क्या चीजें हैं, उसको मैं देखूंगा कॉपीराइट क्या क्या चीजें हैं, इसमें पेटेंटेड क्या क्या है, इसमें ट्रेडमार्क क्या क्या है. तो मैं इनको 8 कैटेगरीज में क्लासिफाई कर सकता हूँ। बट अगर मैं इसको फिजिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखूं, फिजिकल आई लेंस से, फिजिकल ग्लास से देखूं, तो मेरे को मोर देन 8 हो सकती है। इस रूम में कर्टेन्स है, उसका मटेरियल कुछ और है, कलर कुछ और है। मैंने कपड़े पहने हुए हैं, इसका डिजाइन कुछ और है, कलर कुछ और है। अगर मैंने चेयर पे बैठा हूं, इसमें वुड भी है, इसमें आपका टेक्सटाइल भी है। अगर मैं अनदर चेयर देखूं, उसमें प्लास्टिक है। अगर मैं बोर्ड देखूं, मेरे पास मार्कर है, व्हाइट बोर्ड हो सकता है, प्रोजेक्टर है, फैन है। तो मोर देन 8 क्लासिफिकेशन होंगी। बट अगर इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखेंगे किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी को, तो हम उसको 8 कैटेगरीज में क्लासिफाई करते हैं। सेकेंड थिंग इज वैल्यूएशन इन कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडिया, हम इंडियन सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं। सेकेंड, वैल्यूएशन इन केस ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी it is not easy, but in case of physical or conventional property it is comparatively easy. Can anybody help me in illustrating in the class why valuation in context of intellectual property is not easy and why in case of physical property it is easy? This is a very easy question. I would like to come to Government Polytechnic Hisar. Can you exemplify from a day-to-day life why evaluation of intellectual property is not easy and why the evaluation of physical property is easy? GP Hisar. Government Polytechnic Hisar, why it is easy? Evaluation of intellectual property is not easy and physical property is easy. Would you like to share? I feel so it is hanged. Now we move to CV Raman College of Engineering, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Why valuation of intellectual property is easy and physical property is easy and intellectual property is not easy?
Yes, sir. In case of physical property, the valuation is very fixed. Suppose I have a car, it is meant 4 lakh or 3 lakh rupees. Okay. But in case of IP, suppose I have the patent, I have got a mosquito racket, so the value you cannot easily find because that depends on number of sales in the market. So
okay. Okay. Let us exemplify, sir. I would like to have you here, sir. Please be there. Sir, please be there. I would like to have an exercise over here. For example, you and your colleague has designed a plier, simple plier, and that plier. Sir, what is your stream background? BTech, your education background?
It's electrical.
Electrical. Okay. Let us. I may have the mechanical perspective and combined with electrical. Okay, you have designed a plier, and that plier can be used in a, say, automobile for repairing and maintenance of automobiles, and it can be used in a say operation theater also. Say, you have come up with that idea and you have filed a patent for it and you have got the patent, and I am the company, and either you approached me or I come across from some sources that somebody from some inventor from CV Raman Institution, CV Raman College of Engineering, Bhubaneswar, has invented a plier that is very innovative, and I wish to bring it into the market, and I wish to buy your invention. I wish to say that how much money would you like to have? How much money would you like to have for your invention? I wish to have the rights for producing it.
Okay, that depends. How depends? I have to analyze how long my product will be in the market and what is the volume of sale.
That's it.
So and naturally, I cannot ask a very astonishing money of 10 crores, but I should ask a reasonable money based on my pretext.
Say. That's why we are conducting this exercise. You ask 10 crores. Okay. We come to a point. Let us. This is a decisive. This is a meeting we have to decide, and this is an opportunity for you also, because as an entrepreneur, you have the idea. You have got the patent, but you do not have the money. You do not have the manufacturing capability, but I have. And today is the day. I am with you, and I say I wish to market your product. I wish to have your patent. You tell me what money you would like to have. Conduct all your analysis. You have your time.
Yeah, for that sake, suppose I ask for 10 lakhs, then I may say, okay, 5 lakhs will go for developing the manufacturing facilities, and 5 lakhs you give me in advance.
Advance. Okay. It means you will go for advance money. Okay. Any other mode? Would you like to collaborate, or would you like to follow?
And again, there will be some proportional volume of sale.
Okay. For certain volume of sales. Perfectly. Normally it happens that we go by a certain one-time investment and certain percentage. Now I will discuss positive and negative of both the modes. First, let us consider we have chosen one time mode. For example, sir says to me, say sir Amardev sir, or say the company, as a company, you give me 5 lakh rupees. I give the 5 lakh rupees to him, and but in the market after 1 year he found that that product is being selling like hot cakes, and it is being sold for maybe 20 crore rupees in different countries. Now sir will feel that यार had it been मैं उनसे परसेंटेज मांगा होता, जब पैसा ज्यादा मांगा होता तो वो अच्छा रहता, मे बी 10-20 लाख मांगता, 30 लाख मांगता, 1 crore मांगता, then also this company would have paid. So it means it has to be a percentage. But if suppose some person choose only by percentage, मे बी परसेंटेज से चूज करता है, तो सर ने अगर मान लो मेरे से अकेला परसेंटेज मांगा है तो मैं परसेंटेज इनको दे देता हूं. व्हाट विल हैपन, देयर मे बी अ चांस अनदर कोलीग ऑफ सर इन्वेंटर, जो कि उनके साथ ही उनके एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन में काम कर रहा था, जो R&D लैब में कर रहा था, वो एक ऐसा प्लायर बनाता है जो कि ऑटोमोबाइल, मेडिकल ऑपरेशन थिएटर में भी और किचन में भी यूज हो सकता है. And he comes to me or I go to him, or this kind of invention may be from some other state, some other institution. So he may come to me or I may come to go to that person, and I may find more value, more profit for my company, and I will choose that product for money. So then in that case sir would have thought that कि मैं one time पैसा मांग लेता, वही अच्छा रहता कि परसेंटेज में तो कुछ मिला नहीं और कंपनी तो अब उसका बना रही है. So it means it has to be both. It has to be one time amount, rightly remarked, and percentage also, but not percentage of sales. It has to be percentage per unit per day. Mute करोगे? It has not to be. फिर मैं दोबारा कर लूंगा. ओके, सभी को इको तो नहीं होगा? ओके. When I say it should not be percentage of sales, it has to be percentage per unit produced, because as all of us are aware of business practices in our country, most of the people play with our balance sheets, and we have a good chartered accountant, and we show that we are incurring losses, and or we are incurring less, we are able to generate less sales. तो हम लेस सेल्स को शो करके और इन्वेंटर को वो राइट बेनिफिट जाता नहीं. बट इफ वी वुड हैव पर यूनिट ऑफ प्रोड्यूस, इट मींस अगर पर यूनिट प्रोड्यूस को एक एंटरप्रेन्योर, एक कंपनी कम शो करेगा, इट मींस उसके लिए उसको सोर्सेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल एंड वो बिजली कितना यूज हुआ, अदर रिसोर्सेज कितने यूज हुए, उस पर भी उसको कम दिखाना है. अगर मेरे को पता है कि मेरे पास रेजिन मैंने इतना केजीज मंगवाया है, तो इतने रेजिन में इतने मेरे प्री फॉर्म स्ट्रक्चर्स बन सकते हैं बॉटल के. इट मींस अगर मैं कम बॉटल्स शो करता हूं कि कम बिकी, इट मींस कम बिकी तो मैंने इतना रॉ मटेरियल क्यों पर किया. देयर आर मोर चांसेस कि वो उनकी नेगेटिविटी पकड़ी जाएगी, एंड देयर आर मोर चांसेस दैट इन्वेंटर विल गेट द हिज और हर ड्यू बेनिफिट. बट इन द सेम केस it is still not easy to determine what it would be the value. So for example, I was conducting a training program at Mirabai Institute of Technology in previous years in Delhi. So there I got one expert. He was running 12 to 13 businesses simultaneously. I said, sir, what according to you entrepreneurship is? He shares anything that gives me a return of 25,000 per month is a good business for me. So he says, I have 12 businesses. So he was a trainer, he was a photographer, and he has his video lab. He was working as a tourist planning visits for the tourists. He was into a technical domain also. 12-13 kind of activities उन्होंने मेरे को गिनाई. एंड उसके बाद उन्होंने मेरे को विजिटिंग कार्ड भी कहा कि सिंस यू आर अ टीचर, आई विल गिव यू विजिटिंग कार्ड ऑफ अ टीचर, आई एम अ मेंटर. सो व्हाट ही शेयर्ड जो उनका आईटी एक शॉप था, उसका जो उन्होंने एक नेम रखा था, वो एक फूड चेन को पसंद आया दिल्ली में, और उस फूड चेन ने कहा कि वी विश टू परचेज द नेम ऑफ योर शॉप. तो उन्होंने वो शॉप के लिए पैसा मांगा, तो ही सेड आई आस्क फॉर 2 लाख और 2 लाख 5,000 रुपीज, 50,000 रुपीज, 2 लाख के 2.5 लाख मैंने मांगा. बट ही शेयर्ड आफ्टर 2 years आई रियलाइज्ड कि मेरे को लगा कि मैंने 2.5 लाख बहुत कम मांगे, मैं 10 लाख भी मांगता तो वो शॉप वाले मेरे को देते. स्टिल having said all the things, still it is difficult to determine the valuation. But हमें वैल्यूएशन को एक अमाउंट को कोट करना भी जरूरी होता है इन अ टाइम बाउंड मैनर। क्यों कि एक साइंटिस्ट थे, इंटेलेक्चुअल ये साइंटिस्ट थे नाइपर के, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल साइंसेज एंड एजुकेशन रिसर्च नाइपर के। तो उन साइंटिस्ट से मेरी इंटरेक्शन हुई तो उन्होंने कहा कि हमने एक लैब डायलिसिस की मशीन बनाई और एक सम अदर कंट्री से, जापान और अदर कंट्री से कोई बायर्स आए, कंपनी आए, दे विश टू बाय योर इन्वेंशन। उन्होंने पूछा व्हाट मनी वुड यू लाइक टू हैव, ही सेड कि हम कोट नहीं कर पाए, हमने कहा कि आप बताओ आप क्या देना चाहते हो, वो हमसे पूछते रहे आप क्या लेना चाहते हो, हम पूछते रहे आप क्या मनी देना चाहते हो। कहते इसी चक्कर में 1 मंथ लेप्स, मोर देन 1 मंथ लेप्स, टाइम निकलता गया और वो बिना इन्वेंशन खरीदे ही चले गए। And we were unable to put our invention into the market, transfer it to the market. So it is important also that you have to quote, maybe less or more, you have to decide upon, and you have to, if you wish to bring it into the market, you have to work on those modalities. Now, in case of physical property, it is comparatively easy. I would like to illustrate in the class, taking an example of, say, Madhav University, Sirohi, Rajasthan. Anybody from Rajasthan? Madhav University, Sirohi, Rajasthan. Would you like to share why, in context of physical property, valuation is easy? How can you determine? Madhav University. Okay, Suresh Gyan Vihar University. Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. Okay, then I will build upon. I had a chance to visit in 2013 a place in Bilada or Tehsil Kapwada, if I am not wrong, Tehsil Bilada or Kapwada something. Their Aravali Institute of Management is there. The owner of that institute conducted a convention in which he invited all the prestigious people from India, from advisor to Prime Minister India to NGOs to several other founder and chairman of National Innovation Foundation, a professor of IIM Ahmedabad, number of other people to show his campus. And in that campus, he showed that he got, whenever you set up a college in a state, first 2 years you can run the institution on a rented building. After 2 years, you have to have your own land for your setting up your own campus. He said he was adamant. He was a former employee of Tata. He was adamant on his moral values that I wish to buy the land in a white collar money. So he was not finding a right way to buy a white collar of money. One was asking for a under table money. So what he did, he chose a land outside the city in a village area. And when he chose the decision to buy, it was a barren piece of land, and everybody thought he shares that he is a foolish person, that he is going to buy that land. But he decided to buy that land. When he negotiated with the owners, it was a patch of 100 acres of land. Can anybody give me a guess, for 100 acres of land in 2007 or 2008, what money he would have paid for? Anybody from Rajasthan? Because you must be aware of the prices over there. What money would have he paid for? Any guess from JECRC, Sitapur? For 100 acres of land, in 2007-8, what could have been the price? Per acre, you give me a price for 100 acres.
Can you tell me the area? Actually, in Jaipur, there is a variation in the
It is Jodhpur Jaipur National Highway, 25 kilometers from Jodhpur towards Jaipur, Tehsil Bilada, Kapwada. Bilada and Kapwada.
10 to 20 lakhs.
20 lakhs for per acre or
For 100 acres.
per 100 acres. That's perfectly fine. He said that in 2007 or 8, he got a quote for 30 lakhs of rupees for 100 acres of land. He said, said to the owner that I will pay the will make the payment through bank in a white collar mode. If you wish to increase the price, increase. And that owner increase the price to 40 lakh rupees. So he bought a piece of land of 100 acres for 40 lakhs rupees in 2007 or 8 from in Rajasthan. And in Punjab, I have done my BTech from Lovely Professional University now. Earlier it was Lovely Institute of Technology and the Punjab Technical University. In 2007, there is a 13-kilometer area from Fagwada to Jalandhar in which 13 marriage palaces are there, and many universities, this Lovely Professional University is there. They have come up with a 600-acre campus over there. There in 2007-8, the rate of land per acre was 1.25 crore to 1.25 crore per acre. It means for 100 acres, it would have been more than 100 crores of rupees on the national highway. And if you go 3 or 5 kilometers inside, it was 70 to 80 lakhs rupees per acre, 1 kilometer. And if you go further inside, you will have 25 to 30 lakh per acre. But in case you can compare, now you can compare the diversity. In case of Rajasthan, it was 40 lakh rupees per 100 acres. In Punjab, in 2007-8, it was 1.1 to 1 crore rupees per acre. So in comparatively, in case of physical property, it is comparatively easy. Valuation is comparatively easy based on your demography, based on your type of land, कि वो cultivable है, non-cultivable है, location, the population of that area, the professionalism in that area, you can judge. But in case of intellectual property, it is very tough. Why I highlighted this point to appreciate, so that we can appreciate why this is important. Then we come to the next step. In case of intellectual property, it is not at all difficult. I share some good initiative with you on this platform. Immediately, some inventor in some area does a product service on it. He files a patent for it. First to file is the right, and he gets the money for it. So in case of intellectual property, theft is very easy. But in case of physical property, theft is not easy, not at all easy. It is illustrated, well illustrated by the example that I have already taken. The effect, now we come to the next point, the effect of time on value. In case of intellectual property, it usually decreases and in many cases ends with time. तो हर mechanism के साथ एक certain time duration है कि within that time duration we have to exploit the financial benefits of that invention or idea. But in case of physical property, with the time, it may increase or decrease. For example, effect of time on value may increase or decrease. For example, in case of vehicle, lab, furniture, we have a certain term called depreciation cost associated with it. But in case of land, prices will go up. In case of prices of water, it will, potable, drinkable water, it will go up. Why? In case of, there is a simple dividing line that the property, the resources on which we will be dependent more because of the population, the effect of population on the property, dependency of human society will be more. For those property, the prices will go up. In case the supply of those things which is above the demand, it is a supply demand curve, in those cases it will depreciate. Now we come to the concept of IP, history of intellectual property. The concept of IP is not new and it has its roots hundreds of years ago. I would like to highlight here that Jacopo Acotio was granted the first English patent for a new type of furnace in 1565. Venetian patent was granted to Galileo for an irrigation machine in 1594. In 1641, in North America, the development of patents was initiated in MIT, Massachusetts. The point I would like to highlight upon here is that if I take 1641 to be the initiation of formal domain, formal registration and mechanisms of IP, it means 1640 1700, 50 years, 1800, 1900, 1900, 2000, and 15 years past. It means approximate we have crossed 300 years, more than 300 years have passed, and still we say that we are unaware of intellectual property, and we do not wish to be a part of the intellectual property convention and meetings. We say no. We Indians are the. Somebody may argue with me. I will answer your. I'm with intellectual property also. I am against intellectual property also. Somebody may say haldi and traditional knowledge सब कुछ हमारा था. The foreign peoples are protecting it. I will answer this query also at the end of the session. No, 350 years have passed, and still we say our education system, our inventors, our teachers, our researchers, and our students are unaware. I myself get to know about this term in 2009 or 10. I started building my knowledge on this theme by attending different programs conducted by Thapa University, then attended program conducted by NITR, then attended program at Punjab University, then designed program and conducted two programs, one in ICT mode and one in non-ICT mode. And again, I am going to conduct another program next 23rd to 27th May, and invited different scientists, different lawyers working in the domain of intellectual property. And now I am saying that I am able to learn the ABC of intellectual property. So it is a matter of great concern for the researchers and academicians that we should spread the awareness about intellectual property in our institutions. Now we come to the mechanisms for the protection of intellectual property. There are 8 different mechanisms: are patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, layout designs for the integrated circuits, geographical indications, protection of new plant varieties, and trade secrets. First, we come to the patents. Now, I will describe just the relevant aspect of each mechanism of intellectual property right protection that you may not have direct access to. That knowledge I drew from my my interactions with scientists and researchers working in the domain of intellectual property. First, a patent is an exclusive right granted by the government to the original inventor, developer, researcher of an invention, which prohibits others from making, using, or selling that invention. So first we talk of patent. First is that first we have to take into mind that patent, all these rights are nationalized rights. When I say these are nationalized rights, means if I file a patent in India, the protection for that patent will be valid for me in Indian context only. If somebody in US wish to make a product based on that invention, he can do that. But in case I wish to reap the benefits of financial benefits of my intellectual property in US also, it means I have to file a patent over there also. And there is an opportunity also for the researcher. For example, if some technology is very good and some expert from India or some person from US, researcher from US has filed a patent in US, but he has not filed a patent in India, so it means it is in the public domain. So no person will from India can get a patent on the same invention in India, but he can use that patent in his or her country since that invention has not been protected in India by that inventor. So it can be used. So our PhD or MTech topics or social work, when we do social work in our organization, those technologies should be conducted in such a way, chosen in such a way that that are in public domain by conducting different patent databases searches. Okay. Then another important point is that I do not have a marker and whiteboard in a position where I can show you the things over here. I will just update you verbally. When I discuss the domain of plagiarism and writing research papers, I discuss the hierarchy of data, information, knowledge, wisdom. Data, first thing is data. I would not ask any center because some of the centers I have involved, I have interacted physically also. They must be aware of it. Data is anything raw fact. For example, I write BKHPS00838J. I say this is a air ticket. This is a whenever I say this is, I write it and give it to say Deepika over here. It will be a data for her. It is just a combination of certain alphabets and numerals. But when I say this is a PAN number of Amardev Singh, or I say this is air ticket PNR number of for travel of Amardev Singh from Jammu to Srinagar, then it becomes information. It is conveying us something. That is, when we assign a context to our data, it becomes information. When information may be available through different sources, it may be available through a book, it may be available through a manual in a mobile box. You purchase, it may be in the form of a written slip on the projector, it may be in the form of a soft presentation I am sharing, it may be in the form of a video. But knowledge, when some person is able to apply the information from different sources to solve a particular problem in his or her work arena, maybe personal, maybe official, then it classifies to be a knowledge. When we say knowledge, when I come to that hierarchy of knowledge, when I say knowledge, it exists in basically two forms. One is tacit or implicit, another is explicit or documented. Tacit or implicit knowledge is the knowledge that is stored in the minds. Explicit or documented knowledge is that is in the form of a physical form. For example, I have made a presentation on intellectual property. This is explicit form of knowledge. I give you a handout, printout of handout, and share it in the class. That is a documented form of knowledge. Can anybody? I will give the example of tacit knowledge. For example, when as child, we used to draw. Sure. Any question?
We have a question.
Sure.
The definition says a patent is an exclusive right granted by the government to the original inventor, developer, or researcher for an invention which prohibits others from making, using, and selling that invention.
That's it.
So in this context, if I say I developed a vaccine for say for AIDS, and it is working successfully, I got the patent for it.
Okay.
But I have, if I prohibit others from selling or using it, can it go well?
There are two things. There are two things to it. One is that generic form of drugs. One is patented drugs. If you say sell, say for example, in Colgate has a two forms of toothpaste. One comes in a generic form that is sold only for say 15 rupees or 25 rupees, say for certain 250 grams. And the same Colgate, when you process it, put it in a blue color and mix it certain menthol into it and market it in the market, you do it for say 70 rupees or 80 rupees. So if it is a patented drug and it is of, thus the problem is not that much pertinent in the society that government doesn't have to intervene to make it available to the public on a free basis, you can protect it. But in case the government decides that it has to be on a nominal price, then you have to abide by those government norms. Because I will share with you a particular example. There was I'm a social worker also. I have worked with different NGOs and individually also.
Sir, my question is something different.
You can stop it. Your question is, you can stop it if it is a patented one.
No, my question is that I got a patent for a AIDS vaccine that is sought after throughout the world. It is very important, but I got a patent, but I did not get the right anybody to sell it or manufacture it.
That's it.
Can anybody interfere in my decision?
If they do it, they are manufacturing it, and if you can prove it, you file a case in the court, and अगर manufacturing site पे छापा मार के रेड कंडक्ट करके ये एस्टेब्लिश हो जाता है कि वो आपका आइडिया पेटेंटेड जो है, आपका पेटेंट है, उसको वो बना रहे हैं और उनके साथ आपने कोई लाइसेंसेस नहीं दिया है, तो उसका
No sir, my question is something different. My question is that I got a patent for AIDS vaccine.
That's it.
That is very sought after throughout the world. That is beneficial for mankind. I got a patent for it. But I did not allow any company to manufacture or sell it in the market. Can it happen?
It can happen. It can happen. But if they copy it, then you can't stop it. अगर आपके साथ काम करने वाले ने उसको पब्लिक कर दिया है आपके पूरे फॉर्मूला को, तो इट मींस आप उससे लड़ाई कर सकते हो. मैंने बात किया था 21 फैक्टर की.
नहीं, इसमें if somebody files a case that this vaccine, AIDS vaccine, is very useful and he got a patent, but it is sought after throughout the world. If he prohibits from manufacturing or selling, then what's the use of this patent? If it is not, if it is crashed,
that I wish to share that. That's why I said in start of the session I am against IP also and with IP also. What normally we do, the people just I will put myself into your shoes now. I took one group of my participants to a visit to Sector 22 Chandigarh in Shastri Market. There was one was a police official over there and another was a media personnel working over there. उन्होंने एक youngster को पकड़ा हुआ था. अब उस youngster से जब बात हुआ, तो मैंने पूछा, मेरे वाइफ ने कहा आप रुक जाओ, मैंने कहा नहीं, लेट मी इंटरवेन. तो उसको इसलिए पकड़ रहे थे, दे से कि वो प्लेगराइज्ड सीडी बेच रहा है, सीडीज एंड डीवीडी. बट माय क्वेश्चन वाज, उनके मदर कह रही थी कि नहीं ये नहीं बेच रहा था, मैं बेच रही थी, क्योंकि वो चाह रही थी कि मेरे को ये सर आई वुड लाइक टू हैव योर अटेंशन, क्योंकि दैट्स व्हाई आई वुड बी एबल टू मेक योर पॉइंट क्लियर. सर फ्रॉम ओडिशा सर. हाँ श्योर. तो अब वहां पे क्या हुआ कि वहां पे मैंने उनसे पूछा न्यूज़पेपर वाले से, हाउ कैन यू मेक श्योर दैट दिस पर्सन वाज सेलिंग, हर मदर इज सेइंग शी वाज सेलिंग. तो दैट मीडिया पर्सनल सेड कि मैंने फोटो खींचा है कि यही इस रेडी पे था. तो माय क्वेश्चन टू द पीपल वाज कि आपने क्या उसको राइट टू एजुकेशन दिया, उसको स्कूल जाने का मौका दिया, क्या आपने राइट टू इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी टू एम्प्लॉयमेंट दिया? नो, वी हैव नॉट गिवन इट. बट हम अपना मीडिया को खबर देने के लिए, पुलिस अपना एक्शन दिखाने के लिए कर रही है. बट इन द सेम केस, मैं अब आपकी एग्जांपल पे आता हूं. आपने एक बहुत अच्छा सॉर्ट आफ्टर पेटेंट फाइल किया, मे बी ड्रग के लिए पेटेंट फाइल किया, मे बी पेटेंट फाइल ही नहीं करते, आई कंसिडर कि आप उसके अगेंस्ट है. आप कहते हैं वो किसी को भी मिल जाना चाहिए, कोई भी बनाए, it should be available free of cost in the society and anybody should be able to produce it and market and sell it in his or her name. अब क्या होगा, अब कंसिडर करो कि अमरदेव जो है, अमरदेव आपके पेटेंटेड ड्रग को बनाता है एंड मेरा बैकग्राउंड है कि मैं एनजीओ रन कर रहा हूं, बट मेरा बैकग्राउंड क्रिमिनल है एंड मैं क्रिमिनल है, मे बी ऐसे क्राइम्स मैंने किए हुए हैं जो किसी के सामने ओपन ही नहीं है, कोर्ट केसेस भी नहीं है, एंड मेरा सारी अच्छी इमेज सबके सामने है एंड आई गेट सम प्रेस्टिजियस अवार्ड फ्रॉम सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, से पद्मश्री और दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. व्हाट विल बी देयर? वुड यू बी हैप्पी? Would you like that some person who has not worked truly on that medicine should be getting such kind of, should be honored on those kind of national and international platforms? No. So it means we have to, that is the Liza, जब knowledge की बात की थी, knowledge के ऊपर एक और hierarchy level होता है wisdom. Wisdom is that part of our intellect that allows us an individual to differentiate what is right and wrong. अगर आप नहीं रुकोगे तो मैं इस आईपी की डोमेन को क्यों डेवलप कर रहा हूं अपनी नॉलेज को? बिकॉज आई विश टू ब्रिंग अ ब्लड डोनेशन सिस्टम इन द सोसाइटी कि जो कि खुद चले और उसमें किसी ओनर की जरूरत ही ना पड़े, किसी की ऐसे पर्सन्स की जो कि लीडर्स हों. मेरे स्टूडेंट कहते थे सर यू डू सोशल वर्क, आई विल हैंडल द ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, आई विल हैंडल द वेस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, आई विल हैंडल द नॉर्दर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, आई विल हैंडल द साउदर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया. व्हाई? If I make it in the form of a business, it will not serve the purpose in the society. But what I wish to do, I am working on that system. मैं उस सिस्टम को बना के सोसाइटी में फ्री में देना चाहता हूँ, बट मैं चाहता हूं कि उसकी acknowledgement should be protected with me. No other NGO should take the benefit of that. It has been put into use or on a global use or given by that NGO. So it means it depends upon the individual how you wish to bring your ideas into the society. So why you can't be out of intellectual property? I would highlight it now over here. With liberalization and globalization in our country, in late 90s, we allowed the foreign direct investment (FDI) into the country. We allowed the people from other companies from other people from the other countries to set up their plants in India. Can anybody share from you, why do we go to the shopping malls? Why do we wish to have the shoes of Bata brand? Why do we wish to have the shoes of Woodland brand? Or why do we wish to go and wear a Levi's jeans? Why do we go and wear a brand called brand clothes of any other brands? Means we should have that capability. We should have manufactured those kind of things in-house, and we should have served our needs. But on one side, we are allowing the outside companies to invest in the country, and at the same side, we wish to say that we wish to be out of the domain of intellectual property, patents and copyright. How can we walk on two-sided swords? We can't, because अगर हम नहीं करेंगे, what will happen कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को, रिसर्चर्स को यहाँ से बाहर ले जाया जाता है अदर इंस्टीट्यूशंस में, वहां से वो कंपनीज इन्वेंशंस इनोवेशंस उनसे करवाती हैं, वो वहां से पेटेंट्स फाइल करवाती हैं, उनके ट्रेडमार्क्स लोगो डिजाइन करते हैं, ट्रेडमार्क फाइल करते हैं, और उन प्रोडक्ट सर्विसेज को बैक टू इंडिया बेचते हैं. तो अगर हम इस चीजों को नहीं करेंगे तो आवर मनी विल आल्सो गो, आवर इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी कैपिटल विल आल्सो गो, एंड वी विल बी गेटिंग नथिंग इन रिटर्न. एंड इसको मैं एक और एग्जांपल से बैक ले जाना चाहूंगा. अब मैं इसकी आईपी की रूट्स पे हिट करना चाहूंगा कि यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ, मेनी ऑफ यू मस्ट बी अ फॉलोअर ऑफ स्वामी विवेकानंद जी. I would like to quote an instant. I was going through some literature on the life of Shri Swami Vivekanand ji, and from that literature, I got to know that when he went to a foreign visit, that visit was sponsored by some Raja, by some prince of some state. And when he was walking on the roads of foreign, he got a recommendation letter from some professor from Harvard, and based on that recommendation letter he got the entry and into that religious conference, and जिस religious conference में उन्होंने अपना talk deliver किया, and that was acknowledged worldwide. But my question is to all of us is that why don't any other intellectual person in that era, in the areas of 1700, 1800, 1900 or 2000 went to the foreign and represented India in different domain, other domains also, engineering disciplines also. अगर एक religious conference हो रही थी, it means उस time पे intellectual property की conference भी हो रही होगी. अगर हमारे घर में आपने हाउस मेड रखे होंगे, तो हाउस मेड को कितने लोग हैं जो कि आपने घर में उनको बराबर बैठा के खाना खिलाते हैं, जो उसको ड्यू एक्नॉलेजमेंट, लव, अफेक्शन देते हैं? Nobody. I am saying very few, maybe 10% out of 100. It means how can we expect that we were ruled by other people and they will make us sit at their level? So it means either whose mistake is this? Nobody from the outside. It means we could not make ourselves a part of the global community. राजस्थान में जो हमारे राजा थे, वो पैलेसेस उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे बनाए थे. उस टाइम पे मे भी एक नॉर्मल इंसान उसको एक्सेस भी नहीं कर पाता था, बट हमें who knew कि we have to convert into entrepreneurial destinations, and उनसे हमें आज रेवेन्यू जनरेट करना पड़ेगा टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशंस बना के. And we promote it through hotel brands also, different hotel brands. You must be aware of it. Now we are doing it because we have to do it. We have to give employment. We have to generate money from those resources. It means if it could have been done at that level, the situation have been otherwise. Another example is, another point is, main reason is, there is one colleague of mine, his wife is, he's working on a middle position over here, clerical or some assistant position. His wife is in Sanskrit. He many times he comes to me, he says to me, sir, मेरी wife को job दिलवा दो. We are unable to find a job for a person with a MA in Sanskrit. But what Germans did, उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने researchers को संस्कृत सिखाया, और every knowledge was in Vedas. It was there in our religious scriptures. They converted into the form of products and services and launched back into the into the society, into the market, and side by side they developed the system of intellectual property and made it acceptable worldwide. So at this moment, if we are saying that we have to be out of it, so it can be only and only possible if many people like you, sir, maybe out of 120 crore, maybe I say 50 crores are together on this issue, then this can happen if we resolve to make everything within the country. But I feel so there is a strong challenge on it, because on one side we talk of globalization, liberalization, and on other side we are saying we have to be out of it. No, we can't be out of it. We have to go ahead. What you can do as a researcher, you have such a novel invention, if you have such a novel idea, file a patent in US, get protection over there, because if the companies produce over there, they have to pay to you, and they have to pay to you in dollars, and allow the people in your country to produce that product free of cost. Don't file a patent in India. बट उसमें भी चैलेंज है, अगर नहीं करोगे तो फॉरेन कंट्री फिर एफडीआई के अंदर आएंगे, वो उसको फ्री में बनाना शुरू कर देंगे, आपको कुछ नहीं देंगे. इट मीन्स कि यू हैव टू कम इन द डोमेन ऑफ आईपी. हाँ, बट फिर भी ये है कि अगर वंस यू हैव फाइल्ड अ पेटेंट इन यूएस, तो वो एक पब्लिक डोमेन में आ जाएगा. तो इट मीन्स यूएस का पर्सन कोई उसको पेटेंट फाइल नहीं कर पाएगा उसके लिए, और वो उसको पेटेंटेड बेच नहीं सकता इंडिया में. मीन्स इंडिया में आप भी एक पैरेलल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट बना सकते हो, जिसमें आप उसको बना के फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करो. हु सेज टू चार्ज मनी? गिव लाइसेंस टू सम एनजीओ to produce it free of cost. So we should think of solutions. Problem is there, I know the problem is there, solution can be this, as I have given the one solution. Hope this will answer your concern that that is disturbing you. It disturbs me also a lot. I discussed with the professor from IIT Kanpur, who is MHRD IPR chair in IIT Kanpur, but it disturbs you also. I am very happy that the people are thinking of this domain and they are alert. Okay, now we come to the next point, patents. To classify an invention to be patentable, first it should be novel, it should be new to the society. Second, it should have an inventive step, it should have something processing in it. Third is it should have some application in the society, some purpose, or it should have some application in the industrial application or some other application in the society. The important point is that when you file a patent, there are two elements in the patent application form. One is your inventor's name, one is your applicant name. तो इन्वेंटर नेम में तो आप सबका नाम डालोगे, बट अनदर इज योर एप्लीकेंट नेम. व्हेन यू से एप्लीकेंट नेम, तो फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट्स ऑफ उस इन्वेंशन के वही रीप कर सकता है जो कि उसका एप्लीकेंट हो. इट मींस एज अ टीचर यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि अगर आपने के बच्चों ने कुछ काम किया है किसी आइडिया पे, तो आपने उनका नाम एप्लीकेंट में भी डालना है. और एज अ लीडर ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि अगर आपके टीचर्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स ने किसी इन्वेंशन पे काम किया है, तो अगर आप पेटेंट फाइल कर रहे हो तो आपको उसमें एप्लीकेंट नेम में बच्चों को, टीचर को भी डालना है. दिस इज मोरल थिंग. अगर नहीं डालते तो एज अ टीचर एंड अ स्टूडेंट यू हैव टू बी अवेयर ऑफ दिस फैक्ट दैट आपने मेक श्योर करना है कि जब आपका कोई पेटेंट फाइल हो रहा है तो आपका एप्लीकेंट में भी नाम है. That's it. That was the important point. Another, where to go for filing a patent? First one is Indian Patent Office. You have every patent office, copyright office by Government of India. But जब हम वहां से थोड़ा सा लाइन से हम हट गए थे, जब हम बात कर रहे थे डाटा इंफॉर्मेशन नॉलेज विजडम की, तो हम बात कर रहे थे कि टैसिट नॉलेज की कन्वर्जन की बात कर रहे थे एक्सप्लिसिट नॉलेज में. तो जितनी भी इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी में हम टैसिट नॉलेज को एक्सप्लिसिट नॉलेज में कन्वर्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं और उसकी ओनरशिप लेने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो जब ये एक्सप्लिसिट में कन्वर्ट होती है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, रिसर्च पेपर लिखते हैं. एंड रिसर्च पेपर में क्या होता है कि टुडेज कंसोर्शिया क्या कर रहे हैं, पब्लिशर्स, अगर आपका प्लेगराइज्ड कंटेंट है तो वो आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगे. अगर आपका अच्छा कंटेंट है, अदरवाइज द कॉपीराइट विल बी विद द पब्लिशर. एंड वो पब्लिशर इंटीग्रेटर्स खरीद रहे हैं और इंटीग्रेटर्स उसकी लाइब्रेरी इंडेक्सेस डेवलप करते हैं, साइटेशन एंड दोज काइंड ऑफ पैरामीटर्स, एंड वो आपको दोबारा कंट्री में आके उसको सेल अप किया जाता है. मे बी एब्सको होस्ट, वो सिर्फ पंजाब में मेरे 2010 में थापा यूनिवर्सिटी और मे बी लवली के पास 2-3 कॉलेजेस के पास था, because its license fees for certain amount of journals for certain time was 10 lakhs of rupees. As an individual researcher, as a teacher, I can't pay 10 lakhs per annum. As a student can't pay. So if Thomas Alva Edison says he conducted 100 or 1000 experiments, we say he said he learned how not to make bulbs 100 or 1000 times, but I say there were 99 or 9,999 ways in which a bulb can be made. But if a person is working on a research in the area of electrical appliances, does he know those basic work done by Edison ji? No. Where those papers are available? Have we tried to figure it out? No. There lies the difference. There lies the difference. There was one student of mine, वो मेरे को कहता था कि सर आप electronics for you पढ़ा देते हो, फोरियर सीरीज पढ़ा देते हो, इसका रियल टाइम एप्लीकेशन कहाँ पे है? तो वो EFY साथ रखता है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स फॉर यू. आई आस्क्ड हिम ब्रिंग दैट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स फॉर यू टू मी. ही ब्रॉट इट. मैंने उसको देखा, मैंने क्या करता है, कहता पढ़ता हूँ. मैंने कहा इसको खोला, टेलीविजन का एक रिमोट था, मैंने कहा टीवी रिमोट देखा, कहता हाँ. मैंने पढ़ा, कहता हाँ पढ़ा. मैंने कहा इसको प्रैक्टिकली बनाया है, कोशिश किया है कि इसका साइज छोटा कर सकता है, कोशिश किया है कि इसके इनपुट और आउटपुट, इसके परफॉर्मेंस पैरामीटर्स को इंप्रूव कर सके. तो वो कहता नहीं. तो मैंने कहा हाउ द इनोवेशन विल कम, not by theory. When you will do, when you will use CRO, आपको पता लगेगा कि what oscilloscope में साइन वेव क्या होती है, सिग्नल्स को देखना कैसे है. That's it. Okay. So you have to make those things available in a classroom situation also. तो वो कैसे आएगी? Through the conducting of searches over the databases. अब यहाँ पे पॉइंट आता है कि पेटेंट डाटाबेस, अब डाटाबेस आप रिसर्च का खरीद नहीं पाते, तो पेटेंट डाटाबेसेस कहाँ से आएंगे हमारे पास? तो यहाँ पे हर कंट्री अपने अपने कंट्री में इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी के एक काम को बढ़ाने के लिए, कि लोगों को असिस्ट करने के लिए, अपने सिटीजन्स को असिस्ट करने के लिए फैसिलिटेट करती है. तो इंडिया ने क्या किया है, हर स्टेट में एक पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर बनाया है, पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर PIC, और उस पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर को जो पेड डेटाबेसेस हैं वो खरीद के दिए हैं. जैसे पंजाब का पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर इज ओनली विद इन 1 किलोमीटर फ्रॉम मी. हरियाणा स्टेट काउंसिल फॉर साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की बिल्डिंग में है, पंचकुला में. ऐसे ही हर स्टेट में है. और वहां पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने साइंटिस्ट की पोजीशन क्रिएट करके उनको रख दिया गया है, जिनका काम और स्पेशलाइजेशन है पेटेंट सर्चेस करना, उन डाटाबेसेस को सर्च करना एंड लोगों को असिस्ट करना, और IP अवेयरनेस पे वर्कशॉप करनी फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, और पेटेंट और कॉपीराइट फाइलिंग में कॉलेजेस को असिस्ट करना. व्हेन वी से दिस, तो अगर आपका मेथड क्या है, अगर मान लो मेरा कोई अच्छा आइडिया है, तो आई एम अ स्टूडेंट, तो मेरे को वो आइडिया एक एब्स्ट्रैक्ट फॉर्म में हेड को लिख के देना है, और मेरे जो हेड है इंस्टीट्यूट के कवर लेटर पे उसको भेजेंगे पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर के हेड को कि वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दिस आइडिया एंड वी विश टू चेक गेट इट वेदर इट इज पेटेंटेबल और नॉट. सो व्हाट द PIC डू, PIC सारे डाटाबेसेस को चेक करके, पेटेंट सर्च कंडक्ट करके आपको 350, 400, 500 पेज का लिटरेचर वापस भेजेगा कि वी हैव गॉन थ्रू डिफरेंट डाटाबेसेस, न्यूज़पेपर्स, मैगजीन्स, बिकॉज यू हैव टू जज द नोवेल्टी. इट शुड नॉट बी अवेलेबल इन द सोसाइटी फर्स्ट एक्सप्लिसिटली. तो वो वहां से आपको बताएंगे कि हमें लगता है कि ये चीजें आपकी इन्वेंशन से मिलती जुलती हैं. वो कहेंगे अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी इन्वेंशन सिमिलर है तो आप उसमें इन्वेंटिवनेस पे काम करो, बट अगर आपको लगता है कि नोवेल्टी पे काम करो, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी इन्वेंशन स्टिल नोवेल है, इन्वेंटिव स्टेप है, इंडस्ट्रियल एप्लीकेशन है, तो आप उसको एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म 4 पेज का होता है, जिसमें कि आपने वो इन्वेंटर नेम एंड एप्लीकेंट नेम भी रखना होता है, वो आप भर के उसको वापस भेजोगे. देन पेटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर विल गिव यू अ चांस टू प्रेजेंट इट ओवर देयर. एंड one mechanism is that. Another is that you can directly file your application with Patent Information Center. But you have to have a large hut because filing of patent and copyright sometimes takes it is a lengthy procedure. And why? It has to be a lengthy. Why not? It has to be a lengthy, because out of 130 crore population, we are a billion plus country. To certify that, I salute the person who is heading the IP work in India, to certify that this invention is novel. It has not been filed for a patent throughout the world. Maybe you are filing in India, maybe we are a citizen of India, but he has to certify that throughout world it is novel. That is an enormous task. So they have created a different levels also, that कुछ applications की preliminary screening जो है patent information center पे ही हो जाए, और उसके बाद आगे जो relevant applications है आगे बढ़े. And slowly and slowly जैसे e-governance आ रहा है, तो I am sure slowly and slowly things improve. तो उसमें बट आपको ये ध्यान रखना है, अगर आइडिया आपको आ रहा है तो somebody in sitting in some other part of the corner of the world is also getting the same idea. So ये राइट्स फर्स्ट टू फाइल है, तो उनको राइट्स अगर मिल गए तो आपको राइट नहीं मिल पाएंगे, क्योंकि फर्स्ट टू फाइल है, नोवेल्टी डोमेन में आ जाएंगे. तो फिर आपको जिन्होंने तो इससे मनी अर्न करना चाह रहे हैं वो तो इसको जल्दी जल्दी करेंगे, बट जो मेरे जैसे हैं, जैसे सर जैसे हैं, मेरे जैसे हैं, जो कि सोसाइटी को इंप्रूव करने के लिए कोई सिस्टम लाना चाहते हैं, दे मे वेट प्रोवाइडेड कि वो इतने श्योर हैं कि उन जैसा आइडिया किसी और के पास आएगा ही नहीं. एंड दे मे वेट फॉर द सिस्टम कि धीरे धीरे सिस्टम फास्ट होगा और चीजें ठीक होंगी, एंड एट द राइट टाइम वी विल प्लंज इनटू. दैट्स इट देयर. Another thing over here, I would like to now I would like to exemplify. I would like to exemplify some certain patents and their examples, from starting from a small one to a one mini big example. Small one is we take the example of Harpic. Harpic must have been used by many people, most of us, almost. Toilet cleaner, it is there. If you have tried to open it, that bottle doesn't open in a one go. How that came into being? There was a US engineer, when he was transferred from one position to another position, another area of work, another area. What happened? His girl child was playing on the floor. While playing, she threw some chemical agent on herself, and she suffered skin burns. But she was saved. She was okay. But he realized that once it can happen to that my child, it can happen to any other children also. He kept on thinking, discussing with her wife, his friends, and he came up with a kind of mold, child-proof lock. वो mold में क्या है कि अगर आप उसको press करेंगे तो वो then it will once you open, after at one point you will press it, then it will rotate further. It means कि एक child जो pressure लगा सकता है अपने हाथ से, उस pressure से ज़्यादा pressure चाहिए उसको खोलने के लिए, ऐसा mold उन्होंने create किया. And वो company के पास गए कि I have designed a mold, would you like to buy it? And उस company ने उसके लिए patents and intellectual property के context में rights file किए, and उन्होंने per unit produce कुछ cents मांगे, certain CENTS cents उन्होंने मांगे, and he became a millionaire. And Harpic is a product जो कि इंडिया में भी बिकता होगा, पाकिस्तान में भी बिकता होगा, चाइना में भी बिकता होगा. फेयर एंड लवली जैसा प्रोडक्ट बिकता है, फेयर एंड लवली इट इज सेलिंग इन इंडिया. इफ यू वुड लाइक टू मार्केट इट इन अफ्रीका, सेइंग दैट 14 दिनों में गोरा बना दे, would you be able to position it? No, because everybody knows despite of the fact that skin color is attached to DNA, it can't be changed, but it can protect us from the tanning, from the direct sun UV radiations. So in India it may sell, but in Africa it may not sell. But Harpic is the kind of product that will sell everywhere. And वो एक ऐसी पैकेजिंग है, आप उसको रीयूज नहीं करते. We do not reuse it. एक बार बिका, हम उसको दोबारा वापस खरीद के लाते हैं घर में. And every time वो हम खरीद रहे हैं, it means every time उसकी demand created है. Every per unit produced, certain percentage will go to that inventor and to the company. That is how mechanisms they have developed it. Now, since time has passed, so there is a lot of discussion I can go upon and answer your queries. But now I will go quickly from the next parameters. Then I will take the questions from the centers. Next is copyrights. Copyrights are a set of exclusive rights granted by law to the creators and producers of the forms of creative expressions, such as literary, musical, and cinematographic works. जैसे कि आप मिकी माउस है, मिकी माउस का कैरेक्टर है, तो मिकी माउस का जो कैरेक्टर है उसके लिए आप एक पेपर पे बनाते हैं, उसके लिए कॉपीराइट ले सकते हैं। आप उसको अपने बॉटल्स पे यूज करना चाहते हैं, टी शर्ट्स पे यूज करना चाहते हैं, इट मींस यू कैन हैव अ ट्रेडमार्क फॉर इट। जब फाइल करते हैं, एप्लीकेशन फाइल किया है, यू हैव टू राइट टीएम अपॉस्ट्रोफ में। अगर आपने को मिल चुका है तो यू हैव टू राइट आर एनसर्कल्ड रजिस्टर्ड, आपको एनसर्कल उसको करना है, इट इज देयर। सो ऐसे ही इंडियन कार्टून कैरेक्टर्स कैन बी देयर। इंडियन कार्टून कैरेक्टर छोटा भीम है, आई फील सो इट मस्ट बी प्रपोज बाय सम इंडियन। सो कितना अच्छा चल रहा है, उसमें मूवीज बन रही है, इट मींस कितनी अच्छी बात है उसको, चाहे वो फॉरेन में जाएगा कार्टून कैरेक्टर, यू कैन अर्न मनी। Why not your manuals can have intellectual property? You design your laboratory manuals in such a way that they are very creative and innovative, and you file a copyright for it. Then trademarks. It is considered to be a strongest protection of form of IP because ये सबसे ज़्यादा duration आपको देता है, 60 years for lifetime of during lifetime of the author and 60 years after his death. And आप nominations भी रख सकते हो। अगर मैं बुक लिखता हूँ उसकी रॉयल्टी जो है नॉमिनेशन रखता हूँ तो आपके बच्चों को भी आती रहेगी जो नॉमिनी हो। ट्रेडमार्क्स, अ ट्रेडमार्क इज अ वर्ड और अ सिंबल adopted and used by a manufacturer or merchant to identify his or her goods and distinguish them from those manufactured and sold by others. For example, trademark example है, मेरे पास ये Aquafina पड़ी है, I would like to show the bottle Aquafina. Why do we buy Bisleri? Why do we buy Kille? Why do we buy Aquafina? And who decided that for this is a 500 ml bottle? Who decided that for 1 liter of bottle the price should be 20 rupees or 25 rupees or 15 rupees? Why not? Then why not anybody else ask that the price of a bottle should be 5 rupees or it should be? हम पुराने हमारे as per religious preachings we should distribute to पानी पिलाना पुण्य है, इसको हमें फ्री में पिलाना चाहिए। बट जब आप मैनेजमेंट लिटरेचर में जाएंगे तो उसमें माइकल पोर्टर्स 5 फोर्सेस होती हैं, तो उसमें थ्रेट्स वन फोर्स होता है, मैं पूरा एक्सप्लेन नहीं करूंगा, उसमें से एक फोर्स होता है थ्रेट्स ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूट प्रोडक्ट्स। कि अगर एक्वाफिना को मैं देखूं, इट इज अ ब्रांड ऑफ इट इज अ पैकेज ड्रिंकिंग वाटर फ्रॉम पेप्सिको। इट मींस कि मेरे जैसे सोशल वर्कर्स या आप जैसे वेल विशर्स या कुछ कहेंगे कि सोसाइटी में सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स अच्छे नहीं है, तो मे भी कुछ लोग रुकेंगे उसको पीने से, तो दे हैव आइडेंटिफाइड अनदर मार्केट कि इंडिया में पोर्टेबल ड्रिंकिंग की प्रॉब्लम है, पोर्टेबल वाटर की, एंड वी आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम कैंसर। अब कैंसर पे आपने मेरे को रोक दिया, नहीं तो आई हैव वर्कड विद कैंसर पेशेंट्स, आई हैव इंटरेक्टेड पर्सनली विद देम. So I would share the examples, any number of examples, what kind of situation, what kind of situations and what kind of expenses they are, difficulties they are passing through. तो अब उन्होंने threats of substitute product क्या है कि अगर आप कोल्ड ड्रिंक नहीं पिएंगे आप पानी तो पिएंगे, एंड उसको हमारे माइंड में पोजीशन करने के लिए, ब्रांड पोजीशनिंग करने के लिए एक्वाफिना, बिस्लेरी एंड दिस उन्होंने अच्छे नाम हमें दिए हैं, किलने दिए हैं, एंड विद अ शील ऑफ क्वालिटी. अगर इसको मैं खोल के बीच में हल्की सी अच्छी सी चीज भी कोई मिला के आपको बेचूंगा जिसका कलर ब्राउन हो, तो आप नहीं खरीदोगे अमरदेव से. यू विल से कि वो जो है उसमें मिट्टी मिला हुआ है, अनहाइजीनिक है, यू विल नॉट अलाउ योर सिबलिंग टू ड्रिंक इट. बट अगर ब्रांडेड है, अगर ब्राउन करके उसको मैं कहूं दिस इज अ लेमन वाटर, येलोइश करके और ऑफ व्हाइट करके, यू विल बाय इट. अब लेमन वाटर में भी आ गए हैं काफी ब्रांड्स. तो और ये इसको पोजीशन करने का एक और मेथड है. क्यों इसको किया जाता है कि अगर फटाफट भागते भागते बस पकड़ते मांगोगे, अगर आपको पानी चाहिए आप कोका कोला कहोगे, पेप्सी को कहोगे, तो वो आपको सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक मांग रहे हो, पानी मांग रहे हो, आइडेंटिफाई करना टफ है. एक्वाफिना अगर है, मेरे को पता है एक्वाफिना इजिली अवेलेबल है, मैं फटाफट मांगूंगा, दे विल होल्ड गिव मी अ बॉटल. बिस्लेरी चाहिए, एक्वाफिना चाहिए, किलने चाहिए. Means differentiation, product differentiation is there. Customer can easily choose, hurriedly choose whenever he is in a hurry. So they have filed a trademark for it, and they give the licenses for it. Bottlers आपके एरिया में है, कोई पानी बाहर से नहीं आता, फिल्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस वहीं पे है, तो आप ट्रेडमार्क फाइल करके उसको प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन, इट रेफर्स टू द स्पेसिफिक शेप, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, सरफेस पैटर्न और कलर और कॉम्बिनेशन देयरऑफ व्हिच प्रोड्यूसेस एन एस्थेटिक इंप्रेशन ऑफ द आर्टिकल. जैसे रेनॉल्ड्स का एक पेन आता था, रेनॉल्ड्स 007 और 005 समथिंग, तो उसमें जो रेनॉल्ड्स का वो पेन है वो व्हाइट एंड ब्लू कलर में है. तो इट मींस जिस टाइम पे इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन प्रोटेक्शन है उस कंपनी के साथ, नोबडी सेलो और अदर कंट्री कैन मैन्युफैक्चर दैट इन द मार्केट. बट आफ्टर वो एक पब्लिक डोमेन में आ जाए, उसका टाइम पीरियड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट क्लियर हो जाए, उसके बाद कोई भी बना सकता है। तो जो कैंसर की ड्रग्स की बात कर रहे हैं, अगर किसी ने पेटेंट करवाया है, अगर 15 साल हो चुके हैं उसको मार्केट में आते हुए, उसके बाद एनीबडी एल्स कैन प्रोड्यूस एनी कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ इट फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट in any way and market it. Layout designs for integrated circuits. Layout designs for integrated circuits refers to the specific manner in which transistors and other circuitry elements of an IC are laid out in a semiconductor IC and includes lead wires connecting such elements. इसमें भी examples हैं, but अभी नहीं ले पाऊंगा shortage of time. Geographical indications of goods are defined as that aspect of intellectual property which relate to goods or products originating from a particular geographical region situated in a particular country. For protection of new plant varieties, it refers to the legal rights granted by the government for protection of plant varieties, rights of farmers and plant breeders. Trade secrets, यहाँ पे एक चीज है, refers to the proprietary information having commercial application and value. जैसे कि आपका ये कोको कोला का जो सबस्ट्रेट का कंपोजिशन का फॉर्मूला है, वो ट्रेड सीक्रेट के अंडर प्रोटेक्टेड है और आप इसकी विल भी कर सकते हो। बट ये ट्रेड सीक्रेट अभी फॉरेन कंट्री में, यूएस में इन एप्लीकेशन है, इन इंडिया भी ये नहीं है। अगर इंडिया में कोई ऐसी चीजें होती हैं तो वो होती है नॉन डिस्क्लोजर एग्रीमेंट एंड कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी एग्रीमेंट से साइन होते हैं, जो कि आपके स्टूडेंट जब वो आईटी कंपनी, कंप्यूटर साइंस कंपनी ज्वाइन करते हैं, उनसे साइन करवाया जाता है। अब आते हैं पेटेंट्स ड्यूरेशन ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन इज 20 years. You should not go by this piece. This is an old piece based on the presentation I prepared earlier. Now it has been revised कि आप इंडिविजुअली कर रहे हैं या ग्रुप के साथ कर रहे हैं या एज अ कंपनी कर रहे हैं। तो 3 लेवल्स हैं, 3 कैटेगरीज हैं। तो इंडियन पेटेंट ऑफिस के वेबसाइट पे न्यू फीस इज एप्लीकेबल, फॉर्म्स आर एप्लीकेबल। कॉपीराइट्स ड्यूरिंग द लाइफ टाइम ऑफ ऑथर एंड 60 years आफ्टर हिज डेथ, ₹50 फॉर द लिटरेरी आर्टिस्टिक एंड म्यूजिकल और ड्रामेटिक वर्क। फी एंड 5 कॉपीज जो सबमिट करनी है, कहाँ उसकी पूरी डिटेल नॉलेज कॉपीराइट ऑफिस की वेबसाइट में आपको मिल जाएगा। ट्रेडमार्क, इट्स ड्यूरेशन ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन इज फॉर 10 years but can be renewed indefinitely. Fees is ₹3,500 for each class. 10 साल के बाद अगले 10 साल आप ले सकते हैं। बट अगर आप रिन्यूअल फीस सबमिट नहीं करते, उसके बाद फिर वो रिवोक करने के लिए कुछ टाइम है, उसके बाद वो रिवोक हो जाता है। इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन, एनीबॉडी एल्स कैन फाइल इट, है ना। इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन, इट इनिशियली इट इज फॉर 10 years. Maximum 15 years of protection is allowed. After 10 years you have to renew it for one time. Then for layout design of integrated circuit, its protection is for 10 years. Plant varieties, it is for 15 years for annual crops, 18 years for trees and vines. At the end of 6 years for annual crops, you have to renew. At the end of 9 years for trees and vines, you have to renew. If you are an individual applicant, 5,000 is the fees. If you are an educational institution applicant, 10,000 is the fees. Commercial entity, then 5,000, 7,000 and 10,000 come for the commercial entity is there. Geographical indications, one-time fee, valid for 10 years, can be renewed indefinitely, 5,000 for each class. Trade secrets, no registration needed, validity as per terms of agreement, no fees. अगर कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा है तो सिविल कोर्ट्स ऑफ रेस्पेक्टिव jurisdiction. My last but not least, the suggestions for technical institution is at least write प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर सबके पास है टू चेक द प्लेगरिज्म। आप अपने बच्चों के साथ जब रिसर्च पेपर्स करते हैं तो एटलीस्ट वो रिसर्च पेपर्स को कॉपीराइट के लिए फाइल करें, खुद करें। जब आप करेंगे तो मे बी धीरे धीरे आपका लर्निंग बनेगा। सेकंड, अगर अभी नहीं है प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर, दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूशंस के साथ टाइप करें, हेल्प लें। और आप ये भी कर सकते हैं ऑल्टरनेटिवली कि आप अपना सॉफ्टवेयर परचेज करें। सेकंड थिंग यू हैव टू डू इज लैब के जो मैनुअल्स हैं उसको क्रिएटिव वे में बनाएं, आपके चार्ट्स अच्छे अच्छे बनाएं और उसको डिस्प्ले करें और उसके कॉपीराइट फाइल करें और उनको इजी वे में करके अगर आप मार्केट में सेल करना चाहें तो उसको सेलिंग ऑफ में भी लगाएं। विद दिस आई वुड लाइक टू एक्नॉलेज दिस प्रेजेंटेशन वाज बेस्ड ऑन द फर्स्ट चैप्टर ऑफ फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ बुक फ्रॉम द बुक फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी फॉर इंजीनियर्स, कोमल बांसल एंड परीक्षित बांसल, फर्स्ट एडिशन। एग्जांपल्स वर सम माइन, most of mine, some adapted from the book, modified according to the scenario for this classroom teaching. And I thank Parikshit ji and his wife Komal Bansal ji for contributing to the domain of intellectual property. Now, before we finally break, my last call for the any questions from any center.